Okay, so I too am a victim of the siren song we know as Epic the Musical, right? Right, okay. So I have ideas, but I cannot draw. So if somebody wants to take any of this, implement it, I will forever be in your debt, okay? So, Just a Man, Antinous version, right? Right. I've only seen 2 visuals so far. There could be more. I haven't checked in a while. Do I check weekly? None of your business. I'm going to try and play the lyrics, read my notes, play the lyrics, read the notes. But in my head, this is what I see. This is what I think should be animated, drawn, illustrated. This is what should be illustrated, and I would love to see it come to fruition. Here we go. I look into your eyes, and I think the world could be all mine. So what I see in my head, right? Opening scene, we see the doors outside of Penelope's room, right? Doors open, like the light flash, gotta adjust to the exposure. We see Penelope sitting in a window, right? Whether it be a window seat, whatever you want to do. Either way, she's gazing out. We see Penelope lounging in a window, gazing out at the sea peacefully, almost as if we're seeing her through Odie's eyes, right? So think serene, peaceful, happy, okay? Penelope slowly turns her head and gives a gentle smile. There's a momentary glitch in the scene where Penelope is in the same room, except now she's like cowered in a corner. So like just a quick little flash. You don't really understand what's going on, but she's terrified and like a long shadow is seen like looming over her. This is the moment the audience realizes that the love interest is Antinous and not Odie. Okay, you see what I'm setting up here, right? Even after all these years, you can still shed tears for a ghost when I'm standing here. So even after all these years, we see both Penelope and Antinous from a third person point of view. Quick time lapse of like young adult Antinous seeing Penelope for the first time. Trying to establish like, why is this man so obsessed with her? Second line, you can still shed tears. Cut to them looking slightly older. Penelope looks more forlorn. Can't talk. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. She's thinking of Odie, kind of like tears in her eyes, just like you can visibly see the sadness. And then for a ghost, when I'm standing here, cut to them looking slightly older again. Penelope still looks regal, but withdrawn a bit. Antinous is trying to catch her attention, but she walks past him lost in thought. So like in my head, I see them like in the palace setting. Picture like moving down a hall. So the first line, even after all these years, that's when we see like the young, slow transition. Middle part, slightly older, you can still shed tears. Her looking sad, regal. So like maybe she goes from like her head being held high to like, does that make sense? And then the last line was for a ghost when I'm standing here. So like that's when we see Penelope fully cross Antinous kind of like in the background. I'm probably saying his name wrong. Forgive me. We see him cross in the background. Like you can see he's actively trying to like catch her attention, but she's in her head thinking about Odie. Close your eyes and just picture the view. How I'd adore you. This part I'm thinking like hazy daydream. The audience sees a scene of Penelope and Antinous as a couple. Antinous as a new husband and king. Antinous places his hand on Penelope's face. The hand strokes downward to rest on the side of her neck, but it doesn't look right or perfectly loving. The placement of the thumb rests across her throat. The audience can feel the foreboding and threat behind the placement. So like think caressing her face, right? You think the touch would be tender, but like as it moves down, it kind of reads as threatening. So like instead of it being like here, his thumb placement goes like here, where it's like, I'm touching the center of your throat. I could reach across, but I don't, but I could. I'm just a man who's fighting for a home, even after all the years of hardships that I've known. Freestyle this part a bit, but like what I see in my head is like scenes of Antinous suffering growing up on the streets, fighting, getting beat up, stealing, surviving, and with each cut scene, you can see his innocence dying. He's becoming jaded, petty, spiteful. Freestyle it. Put your little juju on it. I'm sure selfish, cruel, and vain. Deep down, I know only you could ever ease the pain. We see flashes of present-day Antinous being as described. A scene of Antinous and Penelope sitting on the throne, except only Antinous is in focus and/or in full color, and then Penelope is more hazy and in the background, not in full color, demonstrating to the audience that Antinous' obsession with Penelope is just greed and hunger for power. Penelope is a toy for him to own. I'm just a man. Do what you need to here. But when you does a college become a me? Audience sees Antinous' descent into madness. The mask is starting to slip. The monster within is bubbling to the front. Quick time lapse from adult Antinous, where each face looks more and more cold and calculating. He's giving up on trying to win Penelope's affection the normal way. Antinous is singing/yelling at the ghost presence of Penelope. So, like, I don't know if you want to demonstrate it, like him in the hallway or him in a dark room, but either way, like, he's currently yelling and talking to Penelope, but not Penelope. Kind of like just her presence, her aura, or like in his mind's eye, a version of Penelope. Does that make sense? Antinous is side by side with Odie. So what I'm thinking for that scene is outlines, maybe Odie in blue, Antinous in red, but Odie's outline stands out stronger and Antinous' outline is like smaller but within lighter, showing that the shoes he's trying to fill and how he is in fact the lesser man and cannot measure up. Antinous' biggest enemy is the ghost of Odie's presence. So that's why I see the outlines in my head. So like Odie's aura stronger, Antinous like barely being able to measure up. Does that make sense? The mask fully cracks. I don't know how you want to demonstrate that, whether it be literally juju. Do what you can. The mask fully cracks. We now see the monster that was inside of Antinous this whole time. He looks deranged, sadistic, and unhinged. Like, I want downright terrified. I want to feel the chill crawl up and down my spine 3 times. That's what I want. That's how terrifying I want him to look. These next 3 Penelopes, very important. For the first Penelope, Antinous is outside of Penelope's door, right? So we're back in the palace, begging to be let in, pensive, distraught, unhinged. His last few strands of sanity are crumbling. Second Penelope. Antinous is now looming over Penelope, much like in the opening scene with a little glitch that I described. But this time it's overt tension, threatening, fear. His hand reaches out to cup her face and then moves to grip her throat. Trigger warning? I'm a little late on that, but trigger warning. Okay, that final scream, I want it to be the height of all the tension. I mean, obviously it has to be the height of the tension, but the height of the tension. Like, I want to feel it viscerally in my stomach. Trigger warning. Penelope appears lifeless for a moment. Antinous' hands still holding her neck. He screams into her lifeless face and then lowers his head to touch foreheads with her. So, like, I want him like this. I want his hands to be threatening, his mouth to be threatening, but the forehead to be like that of like 2 lovers trying to do this. Does that make sense? So like it's him, like he fully lost it. But like I want it to be terrifying. So the final moment, right? The final forgive me harmony is kind of left a little bit ambiguous by Ayron, right? So I thought it would be kind of like cool if for the animatic, right? Ayron jumps in with just me, like not forgive me, it just says me. But I think it would be dope if the animatic mouthed either like look at me, because this whole time Antinous has been trying to catch Penelope's attention. So I either wanted to mouth look at me or choose me. Make sense? Like I said, I think a small look at me fits within the harmony. Antinous whispers it into the still lifeless form of Penelope while their foreheads are touching. The scene breaks to the present, letting the audience realize that it was all just a twisted hallucination. Cut back to Antinous' face, you can see fear and obsession, and then you see resolve. So like, I want the full range of emotions. Like, he's terrified of the thought he just had, but then he's not. A chilling calm. You see the moment Antinous decides that if he can't have her, nobody will. I'm just a man. I don't know if it exactly lines up when you demonstrate it, okay? But we're back in like present time, like present in the palace, you know, that great hallway that everybody kind of like demonstrates where all the suitors are like hanging out, whatever. So from Antinous' hidden corner in the palace, he is watching Penelope, internally begging her to glance his direction. So she's, you know, doing her thing, whatever. But he's literally staring at her. In his head, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. And if she does look, he won't hurt her. But instead, Penelope gazes out the window as she looks towards the sea. In that final moment, the scene cuts back to Antinous, face darkened and set, ominous, the eyes of a new monster born. Penelope looking out at the sea, representing her looking for Odie, longing for Odie, thinking about Odie. And in that moment, if any animator, illustrator decides to take on this, I will send you my notes. That was all typed out, okay? Don't ask me how long I spent on it. I don't even write. Did I mention that? I don't write at all. I don't do script writing. I don't know. I see it here and I need to see it in real life. So anybody who wants to take on the challenge, I will send you the whole document. It's a note, but I will send you the whole document. Please. I just want to see it in real life. Okay, bye.